I'm chronicling the history of Pokemon cards by collecting them and putting them in a binder. Collecting them all is a nearly impossible goal, but the first step is to know what you're looking for. Welcome to Check the Box. Before we get into it, just a little bit of news. Since the last video, this channel has passed 10,000 subscribers, so in celebration, I'm doing a giveaway. I'm not planning on making this a regular thing because it feels a little bit corny, but at the same time, I am really grateful for everyone who's been enjoying this series, and I figured it's a good time to show that appreciation. I'll reveal the prize and give more details later in the video, but as a teaser, I'll mention that it's a Pokemon Center exclusive card that you can find in one of my previous videos. Okay, let's get to the main attraction. In today's video, we're covering the Master List for Kakuna. I've been comparing this evolution line to Caterpie's evolution line for obvious reasons, and I have to say I do have a fairly strong preference for Kakuna's design versus Metapod. I think it does a better job of hinting at where we're going with the final evolution, and overall it's just more intimidating than Metapod. Now that could be because my brain's still stuck on Moonman Metapod, but even Metapod's description on the card does not treat him very kindly. It is vulnerable to attacks because its shell is soft, exposing its weak and tender body. Seems like whoever wrote that wanted to throw him in a stir fry, but I digress. Let's see what we have in store for the Kakuna Master List. We of course start with the 4 base set printings, First Edition, Shadowless, Unlimited, and the 4th print, aka the UK print. Like Weedle, Kakuna was included in the 3 main reprint sets, Base Set 2, then Legendary Collection, where we have the first reverse holo cards, and finally XY Evolutions in 2016. Also like Weedle, we get to spend some more time with the base set cards because Kakuna appeared on the Switch Trainer card. This is all the same printings besides Legendary Collection. There are actually a few more versions of this card that I'm not including in the binder, but I'll explain that towards the end of the video, so stick around if you're curious. In Gym Challenge, we see Koga's Kakuna in the process of evolving into Beedrill. At least, I think that's what's happening. Then Neo Discovery gives us the last First Edition Kakuna in 2001. In 2003, Kakuna makes their first and only appearance in the E-Series era in Skyridge. And we now begin seeing reverse holos from here on out. Kakuna has a bit of an annual streak with FireRed LeafGreen in 2004, then Delta Species in 2005, Three years later, Kakuna has a similar run with Great Encounters in 2008, Rising Rivals in 2009, which was reprinted that year in a World Championships deck, and finally Unleashed in 2010. Kakuna only had one appearance in the Black and White era with Plasma Freeze. The XY era saw appearances from Kakuna in XY base set, and then Primal Clash the next year. The artwork on Crimson Invasion featured a few Kakunas. Then in Team Up, we get my obligatory Yuka Mori mention with this clay model artwork. Kakuna had many appearances in the Sword and Shield era, starting with Champion's Path, then appearing in Vivid Voltage, and Chilling Rain, which features what I think is the most hardcore Kakuna we've seen so far. Lastly, in the Sword and Shield era, Kakuna makes an appearance in the background of this Komala card from Lost Origin. Kakuna's only appearance in the Scarlet and Violet era thus far came in the 151 set, which is their last appearance as of making this video. There weren't any cameos that I skipped in the binder, but as alluded to earlier, there are some specific versions of Switch that I left out. Switch was a staple card in early decks, and as such appeared in many pre-constructed decks. Most of these are not unique to the decks themselves, so for example, you wouldn't be able to distinguish between the Switch card found in a 2-player starter deck versus the one found in a booster pack. There are, however, a couple of distinguishable versions. I've mentioned Trainer Deck B in a few other videos, which is a prototype deck that was used in very early Pokemon leagues. As the name implies, there's also a Trainer Deck A. Switch is found in both of these decks, and they are only distinguishable if you look at the back of the card. The next version is even more obscure. It comes from the VS Tropical Mega Battle deck. The Tropical Mega Battle was a tournament held in Honolulu in 2002 that brought together champions from around the world. Each participant received a 30-card deck in their language. These cards come from the Pokemon VS expansion released in Japan in 2001. The set was never printed in English, and until recently I didn't think any of these cards had an English printing. From what I can find, the only cards from the set that got an English printing were from the Tropical Mega Battle decks, and since these were only handed out to exclusive contestants, it's believed that only 16 copies exist in English. As interesting as that all is to learn about, I don't think it's right to include these remarkably rare variants in the Master List that I'm working on, especially in Kakuna's case where it's a trainer cameo card. As always though, you can do with this information what you will. That's it for Kakuna's Master List. As has been common with the middle stage Pokemon so far, Kakuna's set size and total value fall a bit behind the prior evolution, Weedle in this case. Interestingly, my set completion percentage came up a bit, which is similar to what we saw with Metapod. Okay, before I close out, time to reveal the 10,000 subscriber giveaway prize. As you may recall, Squirtle is the only set I have completed so far, so I thought it would be fitting to give away this Pokemon Center exclusive Squirtle, which I happen to have a duplicate of. To enter, just leave a comment on the video. Any comment will do, but if you need a prompt, comment your Holy Grail card that you dream of having in your collection someday. Please also give a like and subscribe if you haven't already, or you can take a step further and become a member. Obviously none of those things are required to be eligible for the giveaway, but if you're superstitious, it couldn't hurt your chances. I'll announce the winner in a future video, so keep an eye out. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and keep coming back if you need more boxes to check.